Breaking news coming in. Palestine has now recalled its ambassador to Pakistan. This after India made its objections very clear about the Palestinian ambassador to Pakistan sharing the dais with the UN designated global terrorist and 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks mastermind Hafiz Saeed in Rawalpindi. This picture that you see on your television screen, that is Palestine's envoy to Pakistan. He shared the dais. He shared the dais with a UN designated global terrorist, and India took a very strong objection to this. Walid Abu Ali, that is what his name is, ambassador of Palestine to Pakistan. He attended a rally that was organized by Defy Pakistan Council at a place called Liaquat Bagh in Rawalpindi and shared the dais with a UN designated global terrorist. I want to cut across to India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan for more on this story. Geeta, this is completely unacceptable behavior. If Palestine looks at India's support and India does support Palestine, Palestine's ambassador cannot be seen with the UN designated global terrorist and 26/11 mastermind.
Well, absolutely, Gaurav. Look at the kind of visuals that are visible. This after India had gone ahead and supported Palestine at the United Nations resolution that was put up against the US's move on Jerusalem. It's one thing to find solidarity with all those who are siding with Palestine, but it's another to not know the sensitivity of going and standing with someone like Hafiz Saeed. Walid Ali will have to pay very dearly because India not only took up the matter and launched a very strong protest with Palestine at the highest levels. India has also got assurances that Palestine stands with India against terrorism, and the ambassador, given to understand, Gaurav, has been recalled from Pakistan.
Palestine's ambassador recalled from Pakistan. Stay with me, Geeta. That's a big story that we're breaking here on India Today. I want to cut across to India Today's Hamza Amir, who joins us from Pakistan. Hamza, here is the ambassador of Palestine, and he's one man who knows this region very well. He's also been with the intelligence, and here was a man who was sharing the dais with a UN designated global terrorist, Hafiz Saeed, holding Hafiz Saeed's hand. What was this rally all about at Liaquat Bagh in Rawalpindi?
Gaurav, yesterday, Hafiz Saeed, under the tagline of the Defy Pakistan Council, actually organized a conference, as he called it, a big conference, a big gathering of people regarding US's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Now, in that, there were other political leaders as well, but the Palestinian ambassador was also part of it. Not only that, he also gave a very, very aggressive speech against the United States. But as we've just told that it is reported that the Palestinian ambassador might have been actually called back. I have actually spoken to my sources in the Foreign Office, and they are not yet confirming this news that he has been called back. But there are very strong rumors across the capital Islamabad that this is true, and that has happened because Palestinian ambassador has shared the stage with Hafiz Saeed, who for even Palestine is a global designated terrorist, and the ambassador sharing the stage with him is certainly an issue of concern for them, and that is why he has been called back.
Stay with me for a moment. Stay with me for a moment. I want to bring in Ambassador Rajiv Dogra. He was India's former Consul General in Karachi, knows Pakistan very well. Ambassador Dogra, this is a shameful way Pakistan is mainstreaming a terrorist like Hafiz Saeed, with their former information and broadcasting minister Sheikh Rashid also sharing the dais with him or inviting him to his Haveli. But the Palestinian ambassador holding his hand, sharing the Defy Pakistan Council rally at Liaquat Bagh, Rawalpindi. What do you make of this, Ambassador?
Well, I think what is of great concern is the Palestinian ambassador sharing the stage. Sheikh Rashid has been known to have financed terrorist camps in the past. He has terrorist sympathies and links. That's an open secret. As far as Hafiz Saeed is concerned, everyone knows that the house arrest or custody in house was a sham. He was free to undertake his activities. He was still the leader of all the terrorist organizations that he has sprouted. But this one, the Palestinian connection, is really hurtful for India because it could spread like a virus. Today it is Palestine, tomorrow it might be Saudi or some other ambassador based in Pakistan. So I think we have to watch this development carefully till he is actually recalled by Palestine, till he actually leaves Pakistan. We cannot be sure that the appropriate action has been taken by Palestine to amend this grave provocation.
Okay, this is a grave provocation, you say. Can Pakistan or can Palestine get away by saying that since this was against the US shifting its embassy to Jerusalem, and that is why there was this rally in Pakistan, so he went and attended it? Or it's completely unacceptable given that the host of this rally is a UN designated global terrorist, Hafiz Saeed, Ambassador?
Well, there's no excuse because there are other ways of making your anguish known. If the Palestinian ambassador wanted to express his anguish at the US action, he need not associate himself with a terrorist or a bandit. That is unlawful activity by association. Yes. So I think that excuse will not wash anywhere.
Okay. So Geeta, India took this up very strongly as soon as those images came out in public domain, and there was a lot of anger among the people of this country, Geeta, when these images came out, because very recently India voted against the US move to shift the embassy to Jerusalem, and that is where several commentators said, since India is so close to Israel and to the United States, perhaps we could have abstained, but we sided with the Palestinians, and this was a stab in the back.
Well, absolutely, Gaurav, and that's exactly what the point is. It's one thing to go ahead and support all those protests that are taking place, not just in Pakistan, but across the Arab world against the US's decision to declare Jerusalem the capital of Israel. But it's absolutely another thing for an envoy not to understand the sensitivity and not see beyond that one particular issue of Jerusalem to going and sharing the dais with someone like Hafiz Saeed. It was absolutely unwarranted, and India rightly moved and lodged a very strong protest. But on the other hand, Palestine also moved on time and has recalled the Palestinian ambassador. It's a great move of solidarity that Palestine has shown, not with its own ambassador, but with India.
Also, Ambassador, if I still have you with me, Ambassador Rajiv Dogra, Palestine made another statement which is significant, that they said that they are with India in the war on terror and that they do not support UN designated global terrorists. So this is Palestine also hitting out at Lashkar-e-Taiba's terrorist Hafiz Saeed, sir.
Well, I agree with you there, but I think, as I said earlier, till this ambassador is recalled physically and leaves Pakistan, we should not take it as a given that Palestine has taken the action that it is rumored to have promised. So I think we should keep our fingers crossed, because otherwise, as I said earlier, it can spread like a virus. There can be other countries. There can be Turkey tomorrow. There can be some other country whose ambassador or whose representative may do the same thing.
Yes.
And they have been known to have associated themselves with such elements in the past. So it's a sensitive issue, and we should not feel satisfied till we have seen actual physical movement on ground. of
Sir,
this ambassador.
Valid point you make there. I have Major General G.D. Bakshi joining me on the broadcast. Also, Defense Analyst Qamar Cheema joins me from Pakistan. Qamar Cheema, Palestine's ambassador to Pakistan has been recalled, is what Palestine has told India after he shared the dais with the UN designated global terrorist Hafiz Saeed. Sir, is this a very desperate attempt by Pakistan to mainstream terror?
Well, if a Palestinian ambassador is meeting in Pakistani citizen, what is an embarrassment in it? I think you just wanted a story and you are just twisting it. I think ambassador's meeting, if ambassador is willing and he wants to meet, he is an independent foreign envoy. He can have this liberty.
Sir, he's been recalled. If you didn't get the crux of my story. He met a terrorist and his country has recalled him for meeting a UN designated global terrorist.
Well, I think this is where the Palestinian government needs to take an action, and if they have taken an action, as I heard, he has been called back. That is the government's reaction. I think what does Pakistan have to do with it? Pakistan has nothing to do with this. There is no point in this. Neither Palestinian ambassador represents Pakistan, nor is something like that. So just don't. I think you are giving a wrong pitch, not favorable here, perhaps.
Okay, perhaps you haven't understood the story, Qamar Cheema, so I'll try and make it simple for you. Palestine's ambassador met a UN designated global terrorist Hafiz Saeed at a rally. This was seen as mainstreaming of terror. India objected. Palestine has recalled its ambassador to Pakistan, recalled him from Pakistan for meeting a UN designated global terrorist. Perhaps you will take some time to understand that the world does not accept terrorists, even though Pakistan does, and Pakistan refuses to act against UN designated global terrorists like Hafiz Saeed. But let me take that question to Major General G.D. Bakshi. General Bakshi, India made its displeasure very clear. India supported Palestine against the US move of shifting its embassy to Jerusalem instead of Tel Aviv. And then this was a stab in the back that the Palestinian ambassador was holding hands with Hafiz Saeed at a terror rally, and that is where Palestine has now withdrawn its ambassador from Pakistan.
You know, the fact of the matter is that we always stick our neck out for the Palestinians, and they have been stabbing us in the back constantly. Here you have the Palestinian ambassador, you know, sharing the stage with the likes of a globally designated terrorist like Hafiz Saeed, who keeps spouting venom against India, who keeps threatening to chop us up into 1,000 pieces. And here, after we have supported the Palestinian position on Jerusalem at such cost to ourselves, here is, you know, this Palestinian ambassador joining the enemies of India. I think we should have our relations on the very strict basis of reciprocity.
Yes.
We should it for that. I don't think we can lump this and take it lying down. Israel has been helping us with arms, ammunition, with the cutting-edge military technology. They have done so much to help us in agriculture, trade, etc. They have given us the cutting-edge radars, missiles, and here instead of supporting Israel, we go around supporting Palestine, and this is what they do in return.
Okay, and that is where India's strong diplomacy, Geeta. General, you make a very valid point, and this anger was so visible across social media as soon as these images went viral yesterday. Geeta, that is where India made its displeasure felt. Diplomacy is a reciprocal game.
Well, absolutely. But India also, Gaurav, took in all the issues in terms of the voting that was happening at the time that was happening at the United Nations to take a call on what and why it voted in the manner in which it voted. It voted not against the issue of Jerusalem only, Gaurav, it voted against the unilateral action that was taken by the United States of America without having consulted other countries, and now being forced to decide on what U.S. is doing. So that's a completely different issue. It really does not mean, or it does not amount to India not supporting Israel. It just means that there was no consensus building or an exercise that was carried out by the United States of America before declaring or asking the world community to accept America's decision, and hence the vote went against the resolution for Palestine. But the fact of the matter is that when it comes to India and Israel, the ties are strong. Israel knows why India voted. There is a continuous engagement. We will be seeing Prime Minister of Israel visit India. Not only 2 weeks from now, he is going to be in India, and that's how strong India-Israel ties are, Gaurav. We can't be moved by every little vote and every little move that we make on issues very important to us. The Arab world is as important to us as is Israel.
Oh, absolutely.
And so India had to, and it is not balancing ties. It's knowing what that resolution at the United Nations was all about. A unilateral decision by America.
Okay, stay with me. I have Zulkair Nain also joining me from Pakistan. Has Pakistan officially been intimated about Palestine withdrawing its ambassador to Pakistan, sir?
Not at the moment, but certainly it would be if the decision is taken, for sure.
Mr. Tahir, how do you look at this development of Palestine, withdrawing its ambassador from Pakistan for sharing the dais with the UN-designated global terrorist Hafiz Saeed?
Yeah, it was surprising for everyone when that guy just made his appearance on the Fire Pakistan Council platform. Had it been any government sponsored function, things would have been different. But this is altogether a controversial platform. So it was taken. Many were taken by surprise. Yeah.
Okay, and will Pakistan, at least now in your appreciation, sir, will Pakistan take some action against Hafiz Saeed, considering he's a UN-designated global terrorist involved in 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks? Indians were killed, Americans were killed, Israelis were killed, but people from so many countries were killed in that terror attack, and Pakistan has taken no action against him, sir.
Yes, the main question is here that like he was detained even back in 2009 and even and just 10 months ago. But the problem is this, that government failed to produce any substantial evidence against him. The reason the government knows better about that, why it doesn't have any substantial evidence against him. So
is it because of these images that you see on your television screen that a former Information and Broadcasting Minister of Pakistan, Sheikh Rashid, shares the dais with him? So Hafiz Saeed, as a UN-designated global terrorist, Mr. Tahir, is actually being mainstreamed so openly in Pakistan that even your army chief, General Bajwa, says that Hafiz Saeed has a role in Kashmir.
No, that's the open statement that is from Musharraf, who declaring him his hero and saying that he may consider forging political alliance with him in the election. But the main thing is this, again, evidence required against him to be presented in the court. When it comes to the court, there's no evidence is produced. So again, I would say the comment only can tell about this. Other statements are from the government side. Yes, at times it's conceding that we have solid evidence against him, that if he's released, he may be a threat to the security, to the peace of the country.
Yes.
But when again tabling it or submitting the concrete evidence against him, so it's not there.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Mr. Tahir. That's very brave of you to state facts the way they are, that Pakistan does not produce evidence against Hafiz Saeed in a court of law for courts to take action against him. But perhaps it's only when the world hits out at Pakistan in this manner will Pakistan be shamed into taking action. I want to once again cut across to India. Today is Hamza Amir. Mr. Tahir, stay with me for a moment if you have time, sir. Hamza Amir, has the Pakistan government now conceded that Palestinian ambassador to Pakistan is being recalled, or are they still trying to keep it under wraps? And perhaps, as Ambassador Dogra feared, that statements will be made but no action on ground.
Gaurav, see, the protocol in Pakistan is that an official notification will be issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs notifying about, Palestinian ambassador being sent back out of Islam. Happened. Even sources in the Foreign Office have not actually confirmed this news. No one in Pakistan is actually, talking about it, though there are rumors, and very strong ones, that, the Palestinian ambassador might actually just be going back. So we are officially not confirmed. Pakistan government has not given out any notification, so they are not confirming the news as for now.
Okay, I want to also bring in my colleague Geeta Mohan once again on this. So Geeta, how does it move forward for India? We are very close to Israel. We've also told Palestine that, when it comes to their solution, we support, a two-nation theory there as far as Israel and Palestine are concerned. But how clear are we that Palestine will not be once again siding with Pakistan on issues of Kashmir or terror?
Well, Gaurav, what I'm given to understand is that there could be a statement from Ramallah soon. So the Palestinians have made it very clear that on issues of terrorism, there is no question of siding with the terrorists. Now, that is a very important and a very specific issue, and an issue that is very sensitive and of huge concern to India. So if an envoy is being recalled, that in itself is a huge move, Gaurav, that goes to show that Palestine understands the sensitivity of this entire matter, and the fact that an envoy, a diplomat, went ahead and shared the days with a terrorist such as Hafiz Saeed. On the other hand, there are many issues that India and Palestine also have to discuss when it comes to peace and security in the region. That aside, when it comes to this one issue, we see that Palestine really moved swiftly and took into account India's concerns and has recalled the ambassador, and that is in itself, Gaurav, for now, is a big move. We are awaiting a statement that should be put out from Ramallah very soon.
Okay, but you heard Ambassador Rajiv Dogra saying that statements are often made but action not taken on ground. So could there be an apprehension that he will not be recalled, even though some kind of a statement will be made on these grounds? I'll try and reestablish that link with Geeta Mohan in just a moment. But again, Mr. Zulkarnain Tahir, if you're still with me on the broadcast, India is very keen to see Pakistan take some action against India-centric terror for the relationship between the two countries to move forward. And they just seem to be heading, south for the simple reason that Pakistan, instead of taking action against Hafiz Saeed, is mainstreaming him now.
Yeah, you see, when 10 months ago Hafiz Saeed was put under house arrest, it was widely being taken as international pressure, especially of the United States. Again, the question comes to that point: you putting that guy under house arrest, but end of the day, you need to produce some evidence against him. On India's part, India says we provided one dossier, another dossier, many dossiers on his alleged involvement in terror acts. But the point is this, Pakistan always maintains that we need more concrete evidence against him. So that is the moot point, the most concrete evidence. Both mean the ball is coming from India's court to Pakistan. Pakistan is again throwing it back to India. What's the concrete evidence? That is the question, million-dollar question, I would say.
In fact, Hafiz Saeed's lawyer, Mr. Tahir, had told me none of the evidence that India had presented Pakistan was ever submitted in any court of law in Pakistan, even though Pakistan's Federal Investigation Agency, post-2611, had carried out its own investigation. But for the moment, to all my guests from India and Pakistan, many thanks for joining me. So India was very clear about this. Palestine couldn't have its ambassador share the dais with the UN-designated global terrorist. India made its displeasure felt. A strong step was taken, and now Palestine is withdrawing its ambassador from Pakistan. We'll track that story closely.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.